Harman kudaru rota maholane emmenge konvi.
Mihar zaman badal bilje. Ekudin ulen beenum wagoi.
ज़माना को इधर कमे बदल वो मंदायर वैस බයින් ආදත සමාන්ත කරදමිගෙන්ද කොබත් ඒගේ ට්‍රඩිෂන් එක
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Dhiraagu Supersonic by Glitch Gaming. We've got 20 days of Rocket League happening here in the Maldives, trying to crown the indisputable champion of Rocket League, and we've already gotten up to day number 13. I recognize that name, 13. Do we have a team? Yeah, okay. So I don't know if we're going to be lucky tonight with that number and all of that, but before we get into more details, let's take a look at our sponsors. Mandu Mus, thankfully you've been consistent every night providing us with a free muskis and Pizza Vona with a free pizza as well. No, guys, this is not for us. This is for a lucky draw winner, actually. Print Lab, thank you so much for the printing work that you've done for us so far. And we've also got eLife with the MVP sponsor. More on that later, but this is something to look forward to. And then we've got Gizmo with all the technical know-how and the assistance they've been giving us so far as well.
And last but not least, we also have Dhiraagu, who is our title sponsor. I guess Aksam kind of fell off there for a moment. I don't know. Are you there? Hello?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. It's a little bit of a poor connection. So we've actually come to day number 13. Day number 13 of Glitch Gaming's Supersonic. All right, we've been having quite a lot of fun so far, and a lot of, how can I say, experiences over the course of this time. We've had technical difficulties, we've had amazing matches, we've had matches where we couldn't even believe the direction that things were going. But for everyone who's tuning into the stream right now, we're on day number 13. I keep saying this. Let's take a look at our group standings so far.
Alright, so I guess it falls to me to give a little information about this today, so I will do that. Alright, so as you can see, most of the teams that we have here, all of them actually, are split into 4 groups here. Group A, B, C, and D, right? And when you look at the tables here, you can see that it shows the number of matches they've played, the number of wins, losses, and the last column is basically win-loss ratio, you know, like in terms of games per match. And looking at these groups here, it seems that Juice and the Baguettes are very comfortable at the top, along with Vector and Switch Tactics. Although, looking at the number 2 spot, it's very competitive, I think. For instance, Capalot and That seems to be somewhat in competition for that one, although Dang has more losses than Capalot. In terms of Group B, I think Storm has a very solid grasp on the top of the group there, so that group is kind of closed off for the others. Looking at Group C, though, MSK stands a decent chance of giving some trouble to Professional Parel. And as for Group D, EVG is the closest to 13, but I still think that 13 have a comfortable lead there. So overall, we are playing these group stage matches for 14 days, meaning this is the second to last day of group stage matches. And after that, we'll be having the, the knockout stage, right? And it's also worth noting that the knockout stage is a double elimination stage. What this basically means is that to get eliminated, you have to lose twice. So if you lose in the upper bracket, as we call it, you fall to the lower bracket, right? And what this means is that every team has what we call an extra life and a chance to come back and still win the more matches and perhaps even the tournament itself. In fact, if you go all the way through the upper bracket without losing any of your matches, you do have the ability to replay the final twice if it doesn't go your way. So it's quite an interesting setup, I think.
It is. It's still something that I'm still waiting to see before I can finally wrap my head around. but there is something that I really totally understand, which is why everyone is trying really hard in this tourney, and that is our hefty prize pool. We've got 20,000 in the pot, with 10,000 going for first place, second place getting 7k, and third place getting 3,000 rupiah. And I feel like this is worth it for all the gamers who are like competing in this tourney. This is something for all of them to try really hard for, and they have actually. We've seen a lot of teams who have been keeping their score sheets really clean with their really high point numbers as they went on. We've seen on the group standings, Juice is one of them. We've got, and a lot of the teams in the other groups, Mooney has noted that their position is a little bit precarious. But there is the MVP prize though, and this is only something that's going to go to the finalists. Actually, the players, the people who are going to be viable for this prize, the MVP is the MVP of the final match of this tourney. So it's up to the first and second team, actually, the champion team and the runner-up team to get that. Yeah. So yeah, I found that out as well. I don't know, but. Tonight's matches, we are having a little bit of a difference in our schedule because, as per the scheduling, we were supposed to have 2 group stage matches tonight, 2 more tomorrow night, but we've got the time for it, and the technical team on our end decided to have a little bit more fun. So there is going to be a third match, but that's going to be really different from something we've been watching so far. So the first match is between Capalot and CLOCKWISE. Capalot has been a really powerful team so far throughout this tourney, but CLOCKWISE has been a consistent team in the way that they've been improving. They are, to be noted, a rookie team, but they have been trying their level best at learning from their mistakes and getting through the group stage. Now, sadly, as the points may have it, CLOCKWISE doesn't have a chance to go into the knockout stages, but that doesn't mean they would not put up a fight. VANDAL and Legacy Esports, 2 teams of the mid-tier range, and they've been really fighting it out already, and I'm expecting Legacy Esports to show what they did show in the last match. They have been putting in quite a forte of effort, and I'm hoping to see more of that later. As you can see, there is a third match, Group A versus Group B. No, this is not going to be all 5 teams from both groups going up against each other. I thought so too. That would be fun, but it's a 2v2 show match, HEATSEEKER. For everybody who has not seen too much of Rocket League so far, HEATSEEKER is a really fun game mode, which I think I'll just let you guys watch the third match to know what it's about. And trust me, it's gonna be
it's a great idea. Keep suspense going, right?
Yeah, and the first match, like I said, is between Capalot and CLOCKWISE. We're already slightly delayed, but Capalot, if they could secure a clean, like a perfect sweep, that puts them at an advantage as well, as the group standings may show. But if CLOCKWISE upsets that, that's gonna put Capalot at a disadvantaged position as well. So CLOCKWISE has a chance of turning this tournament around on its head during this match. But is there anybody that you would look out for in the both of the teams, Nooni?
When I think about both of these teams, I think it's very obvious that Capalot is better mechanically, right? You see that they have a bit more of a higher skill ceiling than CLOCKWISE. But one of the most interesting things about CLOCKWISE so far has been how much they grow with each match, right? We see a few really gutsy, unorthodox, weird goals from them, and I am hoping to see a few more of them as well in this match. See, the way I see it, whether they remain in the tournament or are knocked out is not important, but their performance in each match really matters, and that's what makes them memorable. So I think that a little bit more practice and coming back for the next time, they could have a better result. But for now, just focus on having fun out there and doing some weird shit to just be memorable to us.
Yeah, CLOCKWISE is a team, is a roster that I'm really looking forward to seeing improve and come back again and again to really show what they're capable of. Before we go into the first match of tonight, I would like to mention something. I just talked about the lucky draw, right? Earlier when we were talking about our sponsors. Well, for everyone who's watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you guys have a chance to type GG in the chat of whichever stream you're watching and stand a chance at winning either one of 2 prizes: a free Muscle case from Mandumas or a free pizza from Pizza Bonus. So these are good prizes, guys. I've been I mean, I've also already typed GG in one of the chats, but I know I'm not viable for this being here as well. But, get the fun going. And if you guys do win, and if you know where I live, I'd be expecting a delivery or two. We've got a really exciting night ahead, something that's slightly different. But before we go into that, Moni, you weren't here last night. I want to show you what we've been up to last night. with
Please, I'm
three
excited for this
matches.
one.
3 matches of really different caliber, man. So let's
Okay.
get into it.
All right, please let's.
Wasting time on my own. All the places that we go. All this pain builds within. Footsteps fade, what could have been? Finally, I feel more free. The end of you and me. Let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. My heart belongs to me. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger.
So you just saw
Wow.
that.
That was quite a night.
It was. What do you think?
I found myself overall to be quite impressed. I really like the matchups. It's good to see Profats Non-Peril play the way that we kind of expected them to based off their debut, right? And it was also really nice to see the Baguettes play again. Is always fun. There was some wild goals that I saw during that one, and the one before that, 13, always fun to watch them play, yeah. And I'm now even more hyped for tonight. Obviously, we have two very interesting matches, but also we have the Heatseeker match, whatever that is. But anyway, let's see. According to what I've been looking up, right? Apparently, if Capalot wins tonight, which they probably stand a real decent chance to, they will secure the second seed of their group, right? Which means that it's closed off for anybody who wants to qualify. Everybody else is kind of in trouble in that sense. But if they do lose, I guess that puts them equal with Da. And if Da is able to secure another victory, they might be able to go ahead. So
Actually, the mathematics behind that, if they lose to if Capalot loses to Clockwise with a perfect sweep, all right, if Clockwise does something absolutely magical and Capalot loses, Doug goes straight up. Dung is gonna go straight up because what you're gonna see on that score sheet is Capalot is gonna have a 7-8 on their ratio, and Dung would have a 7-7. So yeah, that's what I meant. Like, you would see the entire tourney like turned on its head if Clockwise can secure that. Even if they concede even one match, Capalot already secures their seed. One game as well.
So it's a very strangely high stakes game, isn't it?
It is.
Like,
So
you
we
wouldn't
have-
expect Capalot versus Clockwise to actually have such ramifications, but we do, and that's pretty exciting. So as soon as the tech team is ready, are you going to be joining me tonight?
Yes, I shall be your analyst. I think I am the office intern in this situation. Like, they're moving me
Nice.
around from one position to another. Tomorrow night, I might even be managing a team. I don't know. At this rate.
Well, in any case, I think that it's going to be really fun, and I look forward to seeing your insights like in real time, as opposed to waiting for it after the match, right? But in any case, just to remind everybody, we're about to see Capalot go up against Clockwise, a Group A match on day 13 of Dhiraagu Rocket League, right? And yeah, look at that, 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Exciting. All right. Almost immediately, the ball is in the the Clockwise side of the pitch, and I kind of figure it's gonna remain there for a while. Not to be like fatalistic or anything. Oh, near miss, but they were maybe showing off. I think that like they kind of passed to 3 members just now, which was pretty cool. Another great opportunity and another near miss for Nightglow. Kane. Creating an opportunity perhaps for himself, or is it for one of his teammates? Hard to say.
Yeah. It looks like a little bit of a setup.
Right? Yeah, but there was nobody there. I guess the rotations were not quite at what they were supposed to be. Huh. Strange. Double commit on the attack. I can't say Capalot is really dominating the game as much as I expected. Like, sure, they're controlling the pace, but they're still very much getting in each other's way, and it's kind of very strange to see. Do you notice what I'm noticing?
Yeah, I do.
It's a very rough kind of play.
In these situations, you can see that a pro team would have some trouble reading a rookie team because the plays that you would expect from another pro team would not be the same, right?
Right. Maybe that's it, right? That's one of the reasons why their play seems so rough, and they're kind of just, I don't know.
But look at that gorgeous
Whoa! Oh my goodness! Out of nowhere, Clockwise scores the first goal of the game. What? 3 minutes 36 seconds in, and I also really like that animation with the water. Like, that's not one I've seen before. Wow, that's great.
Did you see that last play though? That was triple touch on their team. 1, 2, 3, and into the goal. Could not have seen that coming.
That was awesome, and perhaps maybe now that Clockwise have scored 1 goal, it will actually urge Capalot to kind of bring back the high-level play that we're used to seeing from them, right? But still, it looks like Capalot might actually put up something of a decent fight, and I'm here for it. Honestly, I didn't expect it. Ooh! Oh! What a nice save! Nicely done. I mean,
Beautiful as well.
if these guys just score one goal and just waste time, honestly, valid strategy at this point, considering the skill gap, right? So I'm totally down for it. Oh no! I think this is. Oh wow! That was a great save. I thought that was the equalizer for sure. Oh my god. Okay. Finally, 2 minutes 46 seconds in, we do have the equalizer from Kane. But yeah, Clockwise just gave Capalot the runaround, and I love it. I love that. Oh
The amount
boy.
of effort they're putting into their play. This is the most offensive game I've seen in Clockwise. And I mean that in two ways, actually.
Nicely done. And also another great opportunity here, but Kane on the defense. I think he's also trying to clear and create an opportunity for himself. Oh, hey, you can't just get into the Clockwise goal so easily. These guys really care about defense, I guess. Yalan now, trying to rein the goal in. Oof. Wow. You know, at this point, I'm gonna say it isn't luck. It's skill that's keeping that goal closed, and I'm so happy to see it. These guys are so different from the team that I first saw them play. I think it was against the Baguettes, if I'm not wrong. But either way, Clockwise is doing great right now. Sorry, it was against TC Chips Lions that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nyclo now. Ooh, that could have been something.
It's not.
Oh my god! Like, there are so many almost goals here. I can't believe it.
Look at that beautiful pass play, though.
Oh my god, another dangerous attempt on the goal. I am so nervous for Clockwise. Kane sending it back. I guess he wanted the boost that time, and he's gonna try to clear. But I feel like that was a bit of a risky play here, just because Clockwise isn't exactly the kind of team that you
Wow.
threatened by.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look at that. Capalot scores their second goal. Fair enough. I think that the defender was a little bit too forward just then. 1 minute 35 seconds remaining. As I was saying, just because Clockwise isn't the team that they feel immediately threatened by, doesn't mean they should take risky moves like that, because you never know when you might lose the ball. Anyway, kickoff, and Capalot sends the ball to the Clockwise side of the pitch. Nyclo trying to score off the backboard, and Yalan scores. I'll admit it, that was a pretty decent goal. I like it. What do you think,
quite
Aslam?
quite a setup by Nyclo on the backboard, and Yalan with that little deflection on the side, top corner. It's something that we've come to expect from Capalot, actually. But they're just trying to get their mojo back, and let's see what this kickoff brings. And that's
Ooh.
an open kickoff.
That's it. Well, the accuracy wasn't quite there, but you know, I'm, I guess, super nervous now when Clockwise takes the ball to the Capalot side of the pitch, mostly because I'm wondering, could this be the next unexpected goal? But in any case, Capalot seems to be wrenching control of the match very much from Clockwise's side now, and even though they did control the pace before, now they don't seem to be struggling to catch up with Clockwise. They seem much more organized and meticulous with their movements, and ooh! What a nice setup and what a nice goal. Even though Clockwise defended, I still think that was beautiful. Wow, take a look at that.
It was a good try on the save. They couldn't exactly line themselves up right. I guess they were overcommitted even though they were at the back. Like they had their a sort of a double commit in the middle of the goal as well.
It kind of looked to me like it was deliberately baited, you know, like the defender was baited into bumping into the ball, which might have actually sent it into the goal, looking at the angle there at least. In any case, Nyclo once again attacking the goal, hits the post, and it is sent away by the defenders, but unfortunately it is returned once again by Capalot. 30 seconds remaining, and it doesn't look like Clockwise is going to be able to score 3 goals in 30 seconds, but they're going to make Capalot's life real hard in the meantime, and you know what? Good. Go right ahead, guys. Do your best. And also, hey, look at that. Great opportunity here on the Capalot side of the field for Clockwise. I don't know why they just passed it backwards. That seems a little strange to me. Less than 3 seconds on the clock. Yalan. And I think when the ball touches the ground, it's gonna be... Alright, Capalot takes the first game. Not unexpected, to be sure. But let's take a look at these stats, see how they did. Wow, okay, first off, looking at these stats, you can see the difference in the amount of shots that they made in the goals, right? It seems that Clockwise has made just 1, and Capalot has made about 16 in total, right? And they also have more assists. They also have more goals, obviously, but interestingly, they have less saves. So I'm really happy to see that the Clockwise team's good saves are really nicely reflected in these stats. So, Aksam, so you've seen them play. What do you think about the performance of Clockwise and the performance of Capalot based on what you saw?
I feel like some of the shots on the side of Capalot, all those attempts that were making, Clockwise has put in a lot of practice for their defensive rotations. They've been manning the goal. Their third man has had a strong front up as well, and there's always been someone to kind of like dictate where the ball's going to go on the side of Clockwise, at least whenever they had control. And they've got a lot more chemistry between them as well. But in that last shot, you noted that they had passed the ball backwards. I feel like what happened was their rotation was thrown a little bit off because they did not expect it to go backwards. But it's also another technique that they use to kind of gain control of the ball, because if you take it back to your side, you are baiting the opponent team to come forward and commit once more. And when they do that, and if you can gain control in a crucial moment, a little bit of a fake out, a little bit of a chip, and then you've got the ball right where you want it once again. This is a tactic.
And the opponents are gone, right? Basically, at that
Yeah,
point.
this is a tactic I've seen other players play, like especially even last night, to be honest. And I'm really glad to see Clockwise put in that effort in.
Yeah, that seems like a very look at that. I guess 6 seconds into the second game, Capalot have scored their first goal. And just to come back to what you were saying, yeah, it's nice to see these guys employing what seems to be a pretty like intermediary to advanced kind of tactic, right? It's not something you see to be very bread and butter or very ordinary. Oh, look at that! Kyan immediately with the kickoff goal and the equalizer. 8 seconds into this game. All right, I'm here for it.
As you can see, Capalot tried to use that fake kickoff to try and bait the defenders once again, but this time they did not count for that. Speed.
Whoa, yo! Loot TV scores again for Clockwise. Wow. 4 minutes 50 seconds.
There might be something fishy happening, mainly because Capalot already has secured a game, which means score-wise they have secured their seed already. They could even concede the entire match and still move on to the knockout stages. So I'm hoping Capalot doesn't exactly cap this one.
I'm hoping that they play genuinely as well, because I think that Clockwise would benefit as well from a team really doing their best, so they can truly match up against those odds. And there you have it. Nice equalizer there by Kane. Doesn't seem like they were under a lot of stress. It seemed like very cut and dry. Nyquo setting up from the wall there, and Kane just raining it into what looks to be a poorly defended goal. 4 minutes 34 seconds remaining. There's still plenty of chances for this to go either way. But immediately with the kickoff, Nyquo sends the ball deep into the Clockwise side of the pitch. Kyan takes it forward, but it's stolen away. Green Vortex now trying to go for the ball, I think. But Nyquo managed to win that exchange. He still manages to beat a bunch of defenders, and oof! Oh my goodness, that ball went and hit the side of the goal, and it was kind of rolling around on the goal line there, but the defender's touch unfortunately made it into a goal. Like, wow, look at that. That's terrible. But anyway, Capalot is now ahead again with 3-2. 4 minutes 15 seconds in. Quite a goal, huh? It almost felt like Capalot's kind of made Clockwise put that one in.
I mean, Capalot has been trying to play that gentleman's game as well, because this is good sportsmanship. Capalot knows who Clockwise are, in the sense where Clockwise is a rookie team, a young team to note as well. And
that's gonna be deliberate, right? I mean, Green Vortex steals the ball, sets something up for his teammates, but unfortunately, it seems that Capalot equalized.
Exactly.
I think that this might just be one of those situations, yeah, just to not dominate them, to kind of give them more of a fair play kind of situation. Not really sure, gonna have to see after the match, but so far, 3-3 on the scoreboard, and yeah, there you go. Capalot sends their fourth goal into Clockwise's side of the pitch. Okay, let's see whether Clockwise equalize, whether it's a weird and unorthodox goal, or whether it's just, you know, a little bit more one-sided.
I feel like
we
most
have Kickoff.
Kickoff goals that we've seen have come from Volo, actually. Volo is the team that has been known for those.
That's the one with Usopp, right?
That's the one with unicorns.
Oh yes, Unicorns is one of the more unorthodox players, right? Like does really weird stuff, and not in the like in a bad way, but in the, like a pretty unexpected stuff, and they end up being goals, making shots where like leap of faith kind of thing, and then it just kind of ends up working out. And Clockwise, I think we took note of them just for how significantly they progress in each match. Okay, and here we go. After a couple of rounds of passing, 3 minutes 9 seconds on the clock, and Nyclo scores from Kane's setup. Near miss there for Green Vortex. He was up there for the defense, but unfortunately, I don't think he quite made contact that he wanted.
Clockwise seems to have lost their mojo after the first game, actually.
I'm feeling that a lot too. Like, we have around 3 minutes on the clock right now, and it doesn't seem like Clockwise have a lot of, how to say, energy moving around the field. They don't seem to be going for balls very much on the reactionary, and I'm hoping that this is just not them giving up, Alright, Yalan approaching the ball. Green Vortex. Nyclo now. What's he gonna do this time? Gonna rain another goal, perhaps? Nicely defended by Clockwise. Yalan. Kane. Nice defending by Luke. Green Vortex trying to clear it, but Yalan sends it back. And
actually, what we just saw was just an attempt at a flip reset. I just had to double confirm with my team here at the back, because that looked a little bit like that, but it was a failure. It was a little bit of a show-offy attempt. Why do that in such a match that they've already got in the bag, or in this situation under the hat?
well, there's goal number 6. Capalot 6, Clockwise 3. It's a little hard to be excited for Capalot right now. I feel a little bit more for Clockwise, in fact. They've done pretty well in the tournament. They've pretty well in the sense that they've played against some of the top teams. They've kept fighting, and they've also shown that they do have like a lot of skill and a lot of potential. So it'll be sad to see them kind of get this kind of treatment out there on the field. And we have goal number 7. I mean, usually I'll be like goal, but I don't know. This just feels like a little like
Murder.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking of another synonym for it. But 1 minute 44 seconds on the clock, I guess. I'm still looking forward to seeing one more goal from Clockwise, alright? And we have the 8th goal for Capalot. I still want Clockwise to just surprise these guys and just, send a goal right into their side of the... I don't know what to call it, the net? It's not a net, but you know what I mean, right into the goal.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I've been referring to it as a net as well, so that works.
Alright, so we have kickoff once again. Green Vortex takes the ball into the Capalot side of the pitch. Loot in the air there. I think they're trying to make something happen. The defense just passes it off to each other, attempting to clear, and they succeed. And Nyclo now with the ball, trying to create a setup for his teammates. Yalan and Kane both kind of just meandering around with the ball. Perhaps they're just trying to create that perfect opportunity or something, or maybe they're just bored of scoring goals, I don't know. Anyway, Luth now trying to clear it, but unfortunately, Nyclo takes that opportunity to score 9 goals. So the question is, are they going to go for the top goal total of the tournament with this one, or are they just, messing around? Either way, I'm still, like, a little bit more sympathetic to Clockwise inside of this. Poor guys. Anyway, kickoff once again, and the ball once again ends up in the Clockwise side. Ooh, 1 minute remains. Relentless attacks on the Clockwise goal by Capalot. Could this be a goal for Clockwise? The ball goes to the other side. The defender, I think it's Kane, is very vigilant, and so probably not. Oh, that was a almost own goal, I think, but somehow it hit the post or the sides, I should say, rather than the goal itself, so it didn't go in. And hey, that was a great opportunity for Capalot, but Clockwise managed to defend it reasonably well. And Nyclo scores goal number 10 with 25 seconds remaining on the clock. Can they score 4 goals, maybe more, in 25 seconds? Probably. But I don't really know if that's what they're going for, so we will see.
With the strong kickoff challenges from Clockwise, I don't think that's going to be possible exactly, because every second would count if you want to do something like that.
Very true, and now we have 11 goals with just 20 seconds on the clock. So the question remains, how high can they go? So far, just to reiterate or to remind everybody, the highest number of goals scored in one game of a match here has been 14 by the. Unless that number has been beaten in the last 2 days, it still stands.
Oh no, yeah, it still stands.
Ooh, 12 goals, and there's 11 seconds on the clock. Okay, they're close now. You know, they could do this.
Yep, they could do this. That's a gorgeous aerial dribble by Team Capalot as well. I mean, that's one of the skills that I expected them to show a lot more in this match, but they've been trying to just lob goals in over the defenses so far.
Oof. Oh my goodness, that was a close one. Okay. I think this is another goal.
Yep.
And there we go. 13 goals, 3 seconds remaining. I don't think they're gonna be able to beat 14, although they might reach 14. I don't know. Unless they can score 2 goals in 3 seconds, which I won't say they can't.
I guess they could just like stop at 13 to mark the 13th match day as well.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh. Oh boy. Well, the clock's reached 0, so the next time the ball touches the ground, that's it. I'm wondering where this is gonna go. Is it gonna be a goal? Oh, unfortunately not. Capalot wins the second one, but that was a great shot at the goal there. They would have tied to the top goal spot with that. Wow. Let's take a look at these stats. They have so many shots on goal. They have so many assists with each other as well. It looks like a little bit that they were practicing the different tactics and moves that they could pull off. Did you get that sort of vibe while you were watching the game, Axel?
Yeah, something similar actually, but I feel like they were challenged quite a lot in the first game and they realized they could not exactly sit back easy with Clockwise. Clockwise has been shaken to the core with the second game, the way things turned out, even how the first game ended as well. And I feel like if Clockwise could get their rotations back in, because they had a really solid defense as they went into the first game, and that was something that if they keep it up, they could actually sweep the third game from under the feet of Capalot. Maybe even the fourth game, maybe even the fifth, because that level of skill is something that Capalot hasn't actually been presented with so far. As far as I can see, because this is the match where I've seen Capalot with the most attempts on goal so far, and not succeeding at the same time. There were 19 shots, they got 14 goals, but some of those goals did not even require shots into the goal. There was mistakes and slip-ups from the side of Clockwise. So with 19 shots, I would expect Capalot to have 19 goals, but so far they've been held back. At least in the last game, there were at least 8 saves, 6 to 8 saves, I think, that happened.
I think that Clockwise did really well on the defense in the first game, right? But the second game, they seem to be a little bit shaky. In fact, they seem to be like rushing at the other players that are approaching rush challenges, as we call them. And they're trying to, and I guess right now they need to just minimize the goals that they keep conceding, which might be like the best short-term goal for them. No pun intended. Anyway, kickoff with 5 minutes on the clock. Here we go. I want to see whether Capalot is planning to beat that highest score total or not, because they totally can if they stop, like, you know, if they just aggressively go for it and stop playing around. I totally think they can, but the question is whether they will or not. And 4 minutes and 33 seconds into the third game of the match, Capalot scores 1, and the score stands at Capalot 1, Clockwise 0. This one, I think it's a pretty standard goal, you know. I don't think there's anything special about it overall, but I would like to see some more notable and interesting goals. Ooh, that was a nice attack there by Clockwise, once again with the kickoff. They seem to be very eager to just go for the ball during the kickoff, and Capalot seems to sometimes just not do that, which is interesting to me. I wonder what the strategy behind that is. And Capalot had their second goal. goal number 2, 4 minutes 17 seconds in. I actually do like this goal quite a bit. I think that it was nicely set up and both defenders went for the previous player, the first man, so the second man could very nicely just nudge it into the goal. And yeah, the time now stands at 4 minutes 10 seconds and counting. And okay, we have kickoff, and it looks like Capalot is trying to create another opportunity. Wow, there's no way that could have not been a goal. 2 players against 1 defender, and hey, did I just see one of CLOCKWISE's members bump their own teammate away from the ball? That was a bit of a strange thing. I think they might be kind of panicking here. What do you think, Aksum?
CLOCKWISE seems to have lost all control of their team rotation so far, but this is how you should get it back, I guess. And then with the bumps on their own teammates, it's just a little bit lack of communication, because that aerial attempt on the side of Capalot was already premedicated. You could see that everybody was building up to that setup with that amount of boost as well. And now as well, you saw that setup too. There is a pinch right here. It's a bump off the backboard. Nike already knew where he needed to be, swiping right into the middle of the goal.
Very true. And while we're talking about the goals we've seen, the goal by Kane just now, it was a very mechanically amazing goal, right? He came off the ground and he pulled it off the goal, and my technical team over here tells me that apparently it's very hard to do that. So props to Kane. Keep showing us some cool stuff and we'll just be happy to watch it happen. Alright, here's another attempt on the goal. Nice defending by Luth, but for how long it remains to be seen. It seems that the ball's very much stuck on the clockwise side of the pitch. They're having a real hard time clearing, and even if they do clear, because they don't have much control of the midfield, they're always getting pushed back. So they're in a pretty bad situation. Kane now with the 5th goal, 3 minutes 9 seconds remaining. Whew. Okay, so I guess, I mean, it's very clear where this one's going. This is going to be a perfect sweep, but I want to see whether they being Capalot actually really do beat the 14 record for the most number of goals scored in one game so far. Plus, I also want to see whether CLOCKWISE are able to pull something out of their hats in the last minute and score at least 1 goal to let Capalot know that they can't just win clean like that, right? That they would have to concede at least 1 goal. But anyway, hey, look at that. Another goal by Capalot, although this one I do really like. Nice setup by Niklo, and Yalan just nailed it into the goal. 2 minutes 54 seconds remaining, and we have kickoff once again. CLOCKWISE doing that thing that they do where they go for the ooh, wow, that's nice. CLOCKWISE immediately went for the goal, but the defender sent it forward, and there were a bunch of setups by the players, and in the end, Kane was the one who scored. I really like that, because any one of those players could have scored the goal, but it seemed like they were basically acting as backups for each other just in case it didn't go in, and I think that's a pretty smart play. Yalan now, I think that was a pretty long-range goal, because even though he did hit the ball, I don't think he went with the ball very far. I think he was just following it. There you go. Nicely done. 8 goals, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Aksam, so many goals just pouring in like rain. Any thoughts?
Yes, I was trying to say that if you actually look closely at all those kickoffs, none of those kickoffs have been in the control of CLOCKWISE. Every single kickoff has been choreographed and executed the way Capalot needed it. Because every time CLOCKWISE were trying to clear it out, the angles that they were clearing out was always in the advantage of Capalot. They knew where they needed to be. Their setup was 3 touches in later and then the score every single time. So CLOCKWISE is being baited into it. Right now, Kane, I mean, you can see that with that kickoff, all of the...
Close opportunity there for CLOCKWISE, but yes, please continue.
With all of the rotations as well, every time when they start, they know where each of their teammates are, and they are making those attempts using the determination on the side of CLOCKWISE to their advantage as well. A little bit of bump on the side.
Bumped one of the Capalot team members. Ooh. Accidentally, Green Vortex just bumped one of his own teammates. I think it was Kayan. And now the ball is very much in the midfield. I think we're wasting quite a bit of time if scoring a high amount of a high number of goals is what Capalot wants. But hey, that being said, we now have goal number 10, and with a minute 49 seconds on the clock, there is no way that they cannot score more than this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how high the total ends up being. But overall, I would also like to say Clockwise, just score one in defiance. You know, it's like, yeah, nah, we're still here. Anyway, Yalan now with the setup. I wonder whether they'll be able to make something happen here. Nightclo. Clockwise pressing in, interestingly, a minute 30 seconds and counting. Kane now trying to take the ball forward. 2 defenders waiting for him. He's just slowly waiting to see what he can do, and I guess scoring or setting something up for Yalan. That's what he was going to do. 11 goals, 1 minute 21 seconds. I still want to see the goal total go higher. Currently, we are at 14. If anybody goes even higher, 1 point higher at 15, that would be great. But if it goes even higher than that, I'm here for it. All right, we have Kickoff. Yalan. Nightclo to Kane to Yalan. Set up again. Oh, nicely done. It's so, as Aksam says, well choreographed from one player to the other to the other. It's like a ballet almost. A ballet of exploding cars. Anyway, 1 minute 13 seconds and these guys are already at 12 goals. Aksam, how high do you think they're going to go in terms of goal scoring? Do you think that they'll be able to beat the record?
I think maybe they should aim for 20. Who knows? I mean, why not? Why not have some fun? Because in the knockout stages, they're not gonna meet teams of this caliber. They're gonna meet the big boys in the knockouts. So
exactly. So they would not have an opportunity like this to drive this many goals in, right?
Yep.
And look at that, with 1 minute 2 seconds on the clock, Capalot now have 13 goals. They only need one more to meet the record of the highest goal total in the tournament so far. And that was interesting. All the players rushed towards the goal just now, and it looks like Hyan has a great opportunity, but unfortunately the defenders were not having it. Yalan now. Oh wow. 2 players just bumping into each other trying to get that ball out of there. These guys are real goal hungry, I guess. But, you know, I'm cool with that. Anyway, Kane still creating problems for Clockwise on their side of the pitch. Nightclo running forward with 30 seconds remaining. Okay, they still have the opportunity to catch up with the record thing, which is not a formal thing, by the way. It's just an informal thing that we've been tracking behind the scenes. But still, I'm curious to see where the final score of this one is going to end up. Especially considering that it is now 10 seconds and counting. Ooh! That was an almost goal. Wow. That was just bad luck, nothing else. And we have it. Capalot win in a perfect sweep, although that still retains the record for the highest goal total in a single game in the tournament so far. But anyway, look at that. Kane has 10 shots. Kane alone has 10 shots. Awesome. So after this game's over, everything's been played out. What are your thoughts?
Feels like it was a practice match, as we said in the first how can I say, the first game that we saw. Clockwise did stand a chance at upsetting the entire table, and I feel like basically what just happened was they got a little worried, they got a little carried away, and it got to their heads at the end as well. But I feel like maybe it was just Capalot trying to play the gentleman's game at first with a little bit more of, how can I say, sportsmanship, trying not to hammer in these losses to them. But at the end of it, they realized, oh wait, maybe on live TV they could have scored 20 and they went just for it. They couldn't get it. So Capalot, shame on you. You couldn't reach 20.
Ah. I mean, I will say this though, right?
They couldn't beat the high score at 14. Guys.
Almost. I'll say this though, alright? I think that I'm really glad that the group stages are almost over, because I am so, I don't know, exhausted watching many matches with this heavy of a skill difference. And I don't blame either team, of course. It's just that I would really like to see top teams go up against top teams, you know? So I'm looking forward to the knockout stages, and I do think that Clockwise, they tried their hardest in this tournament, and I'm a little disappointed to see that in this final match they seem to have given up towards the end, or at least were very much reactionary. They were not trying stuff. They were not like, you know, nothing to lose, let's just do anything we can. Like, that wasn't the mentality there, and that was a little sad to see. But overall, I did like the goals that they scored, so well done there. And I think that after the match,
Yeah,
you were saying?
we've got a few things to mention before we jump into the next match. First of all, we would like to remind everyone about the lucky draw as well. Type GG in the chat, even though the match you might see is not exactly as GG as you'd hope, but no, GG stands for Glitch Gaming, boys and girls. And if you type that in any stream that you are watching, you stand a chance to win one of two prizes, which is a free pizza from Pizza Bona and a free muscle case from Mandumas. Thankfully, I have not been getting them confused at all during the entire tourney. Very proud of myself. I nearly once said free Red Bull case from Mandumas, which could have ended up badly, but I didn't. Did I just mention it? Oh no. Oh. I think we could.
That was just a hypothetical, not real. So you're cool, I think.
Yeah. Well, so far we've been having quite a lot of fun. This is the 13th day. I've been trying to keep up with the last match as well. It was a lot of technical experiments on the side of Capalot, but I'm sure in the next match ahead of us, we might see something different. We just might, because Legacy Esports have actually been pushing themselves really hard as well. This is going to be their fourth match. The 3 matches they played, the first 2 matches they were up against pretty tough teams, and in the third match they had shown themselves up. I think they went up against ProFats Elite, and they just hammered that win in. And I personally met the manager for ProFats Elite, and he was like, and yeah, my sympathy and my condolences with them as well. But Legacy Esports, this is gonna be a match that I hope you guys hammer in the win as well. 2 wins would be something to take away from this event. I'm very proud of them to see how far they've come in. But on the other end, Vandal is also a team that we've tried to keep our eye on, but they've also kept on meeting up with teams that are absolutely nasty in the way they've been pulling their wins. And let's hope Vandal does not feel PTSD during this match. Maybe they might put up quite amount of a fight as well. I am trying to see if the teams are ready. But right now, I think we're just going to take a moment to ourselves to remind ourselves of the things that we are thankful for, such as the sponsors who have made this happen.
Pizzata buona, buona pizza buona. Visnata, non c'è pizza cagna pizza buona. Pizzata buona, buona pizza buona. Visnata, non c'è pizza cagna pizza buona. Rahamire ham gamu dudalla iraloi bebe hitu go fadda bonta taza kam go kurala delivery nikang avas bulala. Ine sume nueng hateng nueng. Ei male, ine fe nueng hateng nueng. Ulu male. Pizzata buona, buona pizza buona.
Welcome back, guys. This is Dhiraagu Supersonic by Glitch Gaming, and meeting you here is Aksam as your host. And tonight, I'm sorry I could not correct my terminology there. I'm supposed to be the analyst for the match because Yube has been doing what he's supposed to do. He's been, doing the responsible thing in getting his second dose of the vaccine. Moonitz has already done it as well.
Yube has been shot with the vaccine.
Yes, and I'm still waiting on my call as well. I think I've got like a few more weeks to go to get my vaccine. So in the meantime, you guys are going to have me for every night unless I take a night off. But if you're going to keep it entertaining, I won't. And another thing I'd like to mention is on the 29th, we'll be taking a break because that's when we'll be done with our group league. And on that night, it's going to be fun because it's going to be my birthday, and we might actually be doing a fun stream of a different game, you know, like get everybody together online, social distance, and still play something different to get the entertainment, still keeping it hyped up, because the knockout stages are going to be exciting. It's gonna be different because we are going to be seeing teams that haven't gone against each other, but teams that have been proving themselves in the group leagues, going against each other, getting that two chance to make the most of their attempt in this tourney. And right now we've actually got 2 more teams playing on the second matchup tonight. Like I mentioned earlier in the start of the stream, we actually planned 2 matches for tonight, but because we've got time and we are nice people, we decided to give you a third exhibition match happening later, which is a 2v2 show match, HEATSEEKER mode. All right, Group A going up against Group B. What's gonna happen? It's not gonna be the whole team. It's not gonna be a substitute match, but we've actually had a few parameters set in place to select who from Group A and who from Group B is gonna be going up against each other. And yes, guys, it's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna be 2 people from the same team. So you're going to be seeing people with different skill sets matched up with each other against each other. And this is going to be a really fun match to watch. I will not tell you the technicalities of the match for 2 reasons. First of all, I want to keep the suspense. Second of all, I'm not sure of it. But the next match we have right now, I think we're having a little bit of a technical delay here with getting the teams up and ready. We're going to be jumping
let's
into
talk a little bit
break, actually. Oh, sorry, you were saying?
Sorry, I was saying we can talk a little bit about the teams if you like before we jump in, or are we going to be taking a break?
Let's go with the 10 minutes break, take a little bit of a breather, come back, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the teams. Give a bit of a time for all of our viewers to type GG in the chat as well. All right. So we'll catch you guys back in a few minutes. I'm not even going to say 10 minutes. The last time I said 5 minutes, they put 10. They might put 15. So we're just going to take a little bit of a break. See you guys in a bit.
with a smile on our face. We work hard, we play harder, we push it to the limit, going farther and farther. We work hard, we play harder, we push it to the limit, going farther and farther. Grind all day, we dance all night. We're body freaks of nature, we're body freaks, body freaks. Grind all day, we dance all night. We're body freaks of nature.
ರಾಜ್ ಕುದಿ ರೀತಿ ರತ್ತಕುಗೆ ಬೇರು ಮಾಸಿಂಗ ನು ಕಂಡುತಕುಗ ವ್ಯಾಕಫಾ ದುವ್ವ ರಕ್ಕ ತೆರಿಕಂದಿ ಕಂಡುತಕುಗೆ ಮಿ ದಿರುಂ ಹೋದ ಕಂಡುಂ ಹೋದಿ ಕಂಡು ರೋದಿ
ಏರುಗೆ ರಹ ಮಾಂದು ಮಸ್ತಳು
Welcome back, guys. We are seeing Mooney. Or me.
I guess they kind of need to adjust it again with technical issues and all that. But hey, hi Axam. The match just ended. Let's talk a little bit about what we just saw. In the meantime, so let me get started. Right. I think that Capalot now having secured their spot at the top of the group is a really good thing for them. I also think that Clockwise, I wish they hadn't given up, is what I'm gonna say. What about you?
Well, it was going in their direction for just a little while, and then everything came back and flipped on end. And right now, I think we're waiting for the. Are we having the second match of the night happen, boys and girls? No, we've had a technical difficulty, and then we discovered that Vandal had forfeited this match. Now, I'm not
Oh.
going to hold it against them, given how Vandal did not exactly have a chance at any subsequent results of even if they participated in this match. It is actually something that I really respect Clockwise for doing, and even Vololo as well. Even technical. These are teams that didn't exactly have much of a chance to go forward into the knockout stages, but they still stuck around, and they've gone and attended all of the matches that they've been scheduled for. Vandal, it's okay, guys. Things could happen, and we're glad to have had you so far in this tourney as we've come. In the last match, last match, there was a lot to say about it, but I guess it was self-explanatory how things turned out, and I was hoping to see more of a fight from Clockwise, and I did. I did see that in the first match. The first game, and they had pulled up quite the stops, a lot of saves on there, and a lot of really good technical plays as well. But things kind of fell apart. I feel like it happens because they're a young team, a rookie team, and consistency is key in best of 5 games. So we're going
Absolutely.
into the second match of tonight, which is going to be the last match of tonight, actually, for all of our viewers. Yes, you can go to
The
bed.
Heat Seeker match, right?
Yeah.
All right. So before we talk a little bit about it, I want to say that I'm totally with you on what you're saying. I do really respect the teams that did show up, even though they did not have a chance to go forward. I think that's really sportsmanlike, and nothing but respect for them. And I'm hoping to see them in the next tournament, and hopefully their fate will be different, because we can see, even when we look at just Clockwise today, there's a lot of potential here. If that team with that defense could polish up some of their midfield and some of their offense, we could have like a really solid team here. So looking forward to seeing what they do in the future. But anyway, about Heatseeker, right? I guess it's time for us to stop being vague about it and maybe tell people exactly what it is that it is, right?
Love Heatseeker. I used to play it a lot when the mode first came out, and it's a fun game to experiment with, mainly because as soon as you touch the ball, the ball's it's your slave. It will go directly to the opposite goal. You heard me right. As soon as you touch the ball, whichever direction you're hitting it in, it'll still go to the opponent's goal. So I expect a very, very definite volleyball match, and also the fact that we are teaming up people who don't exactly play together.
I think that's going to be great. Yeah.
2 members from Group A, 2 members from Group B, and this is going to be an exhibition match where we're just going to be having a lot of fun. But don't expect too much of a technical description and discussion on it, because this is for the lulz, as they say.
All right, so just to give people who might not be very familiar with the Heatseeker type of match a bit of definition of what this is, let me just describe it the way that the official synopsis says it, right? So in Heatseeker, the ball will automatically seek the opposing net once it's hit, but make sure you don't miss the goal. If the ball hits the backboard, it'll fire towards your goal. Be sure to think fast, because every time the ball is touched by a player or the backboard, it gains speed. First team to win 7 goals wins. So basically, just to elaborate on that, what that means is when you touch the ball, it's immediately heading towards the goal, Heatseeker, right? And if you miss, it immediately comes back. But every touch on the ball from a player or the backboard just makes it faster and faster and faster. So it just gets harder and harder to keep control of it. And the fact that you're playing with somebody that you don't know really well, that you're not from the same team, I think could add to the fun factor of it. It's going to be really unpredictable.
And in this match, we'll actually be joined by a member of Volo, actually, as an analyst. So this time I will be leaving you with that member from Volo. He will be joining us on the call as the game starts.
That's fantastic. Which one is it going to be?
I think it's Yami. Yeah, 2018. Wait, no, Yami. That's his gamer tag, obviously,
right.
For fun reasons. I've been watching his playing a lot, and he hasn't been the most strongest player on his team, but he has been a player that's shown consistent improvement as he went on as well. So, I mean, behind the scenes, he's one of those players who's been the most interactive with us all this time. as well on the like behind the scenes, helping the technical side as well, keeping this hype up and going. And I think we're ready for the next match right now as well. Yeah, we're waiting for my technical team to stop warming up with the ping check. They're having too much fun with this as well. Kiki.
Well, I've never seen a Heatseeker match before. I'll be the first one to tell you that, but I'm looking forward to this because this sounds great, you know? And the fact that when you hit the ball, it goes towards the goal, what a dream.
All right, I will catch you later. I think we're all... No, we're not ready. Why, huh?
Well, while they're figuring
We've
it
got
out,
a
just
lot
to
of
remind
time.
everybody, today is the day 13 of Dhiraagu Supersonic, which means that out of the 20 days, this is the second to last day of the group stage, right? After that, we're going to be seeing the the knockout stage, right? That's when stuff gets real, as they say. And tonight's matches, we've seen Capalot take on CLOCKWISE. Capalot won perfect sweep. We've seen Vandal they were supposed to go up against Legacy, but because Vandal did not have a way to progress forward, they decided that rather than play tonight, they would rather forfeit. So Legacy Esports takes the win there. But that neatly brings us to our third match, the exhibition match, the fun match, as they say, where Group A, two players from teams of Group A are going to be taking on a team of two players from Group B in a Heatseeker match. And it's going to be very different from the kind of matches we've seen so far, so I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think we need much in the way of commentary per se, but I'll be sure to point out all the cool stuff and the fun stuff that happens.
All right, so the match is about to start. I will catch you later.
Thank you. All right, so once again, as I just said, this is going to be a Heatseeker match, 5 minutes on the clock, and it is Group A versus Group B. Here we go, the first shot. I guess they just kind of pass it back and forth. Oh, look at that! Green Vortex is one of the players for Group A, and he scores. Nicely done. So basically, when they send the ball from one side to the other, it just keeps picking up speed, which makes it harder and harder to stop or to even send in the direction that you really want to send it. But anyway, Group A seems to have scored the first goal, and now they're sending it back. Group A sends it back. Oh, look at that! Group A scores again. Green Vortex, my man, you're on fire tonight. Alright, I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes up. I'm not sure whether we can call this a kickoff, because it's not really much of a kickoff. It's more like a shoot-off, I guess, and it's begun. And wow, the ball's really picking up speed now. Oh, and look at that. I think this time it was bouncing off the wall that brought it back. Wow. Seeing the replay of these as well, it's kind of really wild. I guess it's a little bit more fun to play than to commentate on, but either way, this is hilarious. Okay, now it's Group B's kickoff, of course, once again. And they're sending it back and forth. Ooh, chili sauce. No, there's a familiar player. Off the backboard. It's picked up speed once again. And again. And again. And again. Okay, now it's picking up speed in a really great way. I don't know which side the goal is going to go into, but this is great. It's really fast now. Wow. Also, gotta love the way that the color changes, just so you know which team is sending the ball. And look at that! Green Vortex scores 4th goal for Group A. Wow. I'm actually waiting for my co-commentator to show up, one of the members of Volo Esports, which is a team that we've been following the progress of. So hopefully we'll be hearing from that person soon. But anyway, in the meantime, we have Heatseeker going on. All right, 4-0 though. Like, how unexpected.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to Dhiraagu Supersonic, I guess, on this side of the table at least. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Fine.
Great to hear from you, all right? So, you as a player probably know more about Heatseeker than I do, right? I'm just seeing it for the first time right now. So, do you have any thoughts on how things are going right now? It seems very one-sided. What's up with that?
Probably because they don't have a tactic, they need to talk about it.
Right.
Because Heatseeker, if you're playing with 2 players, one should probably go and demo one of the players so the other person can score.
Right.
There'll be only one person. Or if the person misses the goal, the other person will forward and redirect it.
It's not to interrupt you, but hell yeah, Ghost just scored. Well done, Ghost,
nice.
for Group B. And that was a really nice one as well, like just rained all the way, pretty accurate. I guess overall you can say that this is a kind of match type that basically tests your accuracy, right?
Yes. So it's
Accuracy.
it's mostly like what do I say? Goalkeeping, defending.
Right,
Most
so
of the defending game.
on one side it's about making sure that it gets to the goal, because of course if it hits the backboard it kind of comes back to you, right?
Yes.
But on the other side, being able to defend especially high-speed balls, I suppose, is the target here. It honestly, I think it's a great way for like maybe a few amateurs to kind of learn and practice, right? Because it has some really good mechanics here, and I mean the way that we're playing it tonight, the fact that 2 different members from 2 different teams are on it, I think is pretty great. I remember Ghost being one of the players that we really had an eye on recently, and Classico as well.
Yes, Classico
So-
is a really good player.
Yes, I'm just really amused by the fact that these guys, despite the fact that they don't know each other's styles or anything really well, are able to kind of have some kind of teamwork. Oh, nice. Classico with goal number 6. Alright,
So one more goal then, that means until it finishes.
So basically, I've just heard this interesting thing about Heatseeker. Apparently, when you get a certain amount of touches on the ball, the color of the ball changes as the speed increases to purple, right? Which kind of makes it really wild and exciting, I'm told. So even though Group A, even though
really
Group A
fast.
won this one just now, I'm hoping that they will in the next one kind of take that ball and just turn it purple and make it go super fast. But anyway, Classico and Green Vortex versus Ghost and Chili Sauce. So overall, it seems that Classico is the shot maker and also the saver.
Probably.
I guess,
Yeah.
I guess we're kind of seeing the skill ceiling here for both players. But I do think that it's really great to see players from different teams play together like this, because you get to see what it's like to work with people who are a little bit different from you. So, all right. Now that one team has won one of them, the other one definitely has to win the other one to, I guess, either stay in the game or not lose. What do you think that they should do? Do you think that they should be more proactive and demo the other players, or do you think it's more of an accuracy thing, or maybe bumping will work? What would you do if you were on the losing side of this right now?
If I was on the losing side, probably what I would do is I would tell my teammates to please go and hit the shots while I go forward and demo, bump, or maybe go to rule number 1 with them.
Right. So, I suppose even in this situation, the best thing to do would be to work with your teammates, where one person is the designated shooting person while the other person pulls off more tactical plays, right? Which actually brings up a really good question. See, when I look at this, I feel like this is really straightforward. So I gotta ask you, are there a lot of options here in terms of tactics and tricks you can pull?
Yes and no, because the tactics that you can choose play is mainly because on the ground, because there's 2 players.
Right.
So that there isn't that much. Maybe from the kickoff, yes, there might be some tactics, the way that you hit the ball. Rest. Okay.
Wow. Looking at this so far, this is interesting. Before the goals were conceded quite easily, but now it seems that both teams are kind of holding on to it. Maybe they're trying to go for that purple ball. And Ghost scores this time. Nicely done. Group B takes an early lead, which I'm always happy to see. I think I've said this like a million times while I've been hosting. It's always nicer for the spectators to see even games where, you know, like both teams have to struggle real hard to score. So anyway, going back to what we were talking about, what kind of tricks or like kind of tactics can we really use to get some advantage here? Because it seems that as soon as the ball's moving, that's it, you know, like it's begun.
Yes, because it is basically two players just hit the ball as hard as you can, then until it goes to the ball. So there isn't that much tactical plays, but
wow, second goal by Ghost. Yeah, go on.
There isn't much tactics, but mainly from the kickoff, if you start good, if it goes to the goal, you're straight up good. It's fine.
I see. So, I guess from a certain perspective, you can say that this game is also about passing, right? It's just that the pass specifically takes it towards the goal. So would you say that perhaps if like both players took turns where one went first and the other went, kind of like a mini rotation there, would that kind of help as well? Because in Rocket League, I've noticed that when you're up in the air and all, you can't really maneuver unless you hit the ground, right?
Yes.
Not fully anyway. Like, so basically this is recovery, right? So maybe do you think that like by taking turns that you could shorten the recovery time for the team so you would always be ready for the ball? That would be something you could try, right?
Yes, that's a really good one too.
I'm looking forward to seeing Group B win this one just to see it be a little bit more even. And I think that Ghost... Sorry, you think? Maybe, yeah. It's my favorite thing. I'm so far noticing that Ghost is proving to be quite accurate in terms of his shots, right? But Classico is proven to be quite tricky in terms of his plays. Hey, and Ghost scores again. That was nicely done. Let's take a look at that replay.
Nicely played by Ghost.
I'm still a little sad that we haven't seen the purple ball yet, but that speed was, you know, picking up, so hopefully soon, right? And interestingly, you would also notice that the scores completely turned around compared to the first game. This time, Group A hasn't managed to score at all. Do you think that there's anything going on with the teamwork that you can notice?
Yes, probably they're now communicating better, probably, because in the first match, this was like a warm-up match.
Kind of, you need to get to know your players, right?
Yes.
So,
wait.
as I mentioned before, you are one of the players in one of the teams of this tournament. So let me just ask you some questions that maybe players would be able to answer better, right? Yeah. Just, you know, not necessarily related to this game, but just a way to get for the listeners or viewers to get to know the game and your side of things better. See, when we are watching the games and we see high-speed plays and rotations and all, you guys are in constant communication, right?
Yes.
Wow, the ball's really picking up speed. As I was saying, you guys are in constant communication, right? So, how are you able to change tactics on the fly? Do you guys have like code words you use, or like is it very long sentences that you speak in? Like, how do you talk when you talk to each other in the heat of the match?
We just
is it very panic screeching basically, or is it very calm and cool, or how does it go?
Panic screeching.
But you do understand what each other mean when you do say certain things, right?
Yes.
So you are able to adjust your tactics on the fly?
Most of the time, yes, but sometimes.
What happens when you, like, let's say, are faced against a very difficult opponent and you feel like, you know, the challenge level is quite high? How is it to face something so, let's say, intimidating from one perspective? What is your mentality to do something like that? I've noticed that so far Volo has basically gone up against every team that's been on the roster, and they've done their best. So that's something I feel like you guys do know a lot about, you know? Like not giving up and just doing your best. So what kind of thing do you think when you think, okay, this might be a really challenging team, what are we going to do? Like, what's that thought process? How do you get ready for such a match? a lot of questions. So let's start with how do you get ready for a match against a team that might be a little bit challenging? Hello. I guess my commentator is kind of having technical difficulty. That's cool. But anyway, we are just still waiting for that purple ball to come. I'm glad to see Group A has scored another one. Ooh, near miss there. 1 minute remaining. I'm kind of interested to see this, and I don't know if you guys noticed as well. Both teams have gotten really good at their recovery, which is one of the reasons why you're not seeing goals being conceded so easily one side or the other, right? Because as I mentioned before, this game is very much about how fast you can recover from your shots or your moves. So even though we haven't seen the purple ball yet, come on guys, show it to me before it ends. You gotta do me this one thing. Anyway, even though we haven't seen it yet, I still think that it's quite interesting. I really think it's interesting to see how fast their recovery time has increased to, especially because these are not players who are used to playing together, and they seem to be doing pretty well. And I'm also told that when the ball turns purple, the speed goes ×3, which is wild. I mean, this is already so fast. I'm loving it. But I still look forward to seeing the purple ball and what these players will be able to do. Ooh. My goodness, there's only 10 seconds left, and wow, the ball is moving so fast right now. It's so great. I love that it just goes right towards the goal. It's like this gigantic ball of energy. It's great. Anyway, Group B has won this one, which is pretty awesome. I, as a spectator, usually like to see matches which are a little bit more even. So now we have 1 win for Group A and 1 win for Group B. And who knows? Perhaps we might be seeing something like a reverse sweep, even though this one's really been played for fun. I'll still take it. Just to remind everybody, this is day 13 of Dhiraagu Supersonic by Glitch Gaming, and we saw our first match today, Capalot versus CLOCKWISE. Perfect sweep. And the second match, as scheduled, was kind of put on hold. No, not hold, I should say. It was forfeited by Vandal to Legacy Esports, right? So Legacy Esports win by default. And now we are seeing the third match, which is a showcase/exhibition match just for fun, and Group A is going up against Group B, which basically means that 2 members from different teams of Group A are being put on the same team as 2 different members of Group B who are also from different teams originally. And currently we have 1 win each. So the mode that they're playing is called HEATSEEKER. Just to remind everybody, the way that it works is when you touch the ball or the ball touches the backboard, it speeds up, right? And every consecutive touch keeps speeding it up. And the goal here, no pun intended, is to get 7 goals. And that's the winner. But in the meantime, every time you touch the ball, it becomes faster and faster, which means that it's going to be more and more difficult to handle. So, yeah, we have our first goal by Group A this time. I think it was Classico that scored that one. Hi, welcome back.
I'm very sorry, I had to do something.
No worries. I'm going to ask you that question I asked you again. How do you get ready for a match when you feel like your opponents might be really challenging? Like, what is there anything specific that you guys do? Maybe like training or something psychological, anything like that?
Basically, all of our group teams are very challenging. As soon as the first time we get the group of death, we were nah. So,
oh, I'm sorry. It's just a rumor I heard, alright?
So, we practiced about 5 hours a day.
Damn, that's
For
impressive.
the tournament. For the tournament, only 5 hours a day. Then, before the match, about 1 hour to 2 hours before the match, we start to play. Then, what we do is after the match, we don't talk. We talk on the next day. Because we all gather, we watch the replays and all the stuff, and we gather what we did wrong, and we discuss it, and we try to fix it.
That makes a lot of sense, you know? because I mean, obviously that's great to hear because that's really awesome for a sportsman like and all. But another thing is one of the things that we've been consistently talking about in terms of Volo Esports is that every match you guys play, you do play a little bit differently. You see some progression. So I guess that's the real reason why, because you take the time to reflect on the previous match, right?
Yes, because for example, I have literally 20 pages of notes from 13.
20 pages, my goodness, that's amazing.
13.
That is
Yeah.
amazing.
From friends I've heard other things. Literally. 20
This is
pages.
actually
It's
pretty
really
great.
easy.
So that means that it's not just simply a matter of playing the game a lot, right? It's also a certain amount of observation, reflection, and you guys also kind of like try to study other teams. I do want to ask you, do you guys watch the games of other teams that are not in your group, maybe to see if you can kind of learn something from it, or is it more of a checking out the competition kind of thing? Because we have seen some teams like the Baguettes and let's say Juice or Vector, all of them do face some pretty challenging matches, right? So what's your approach there? Do you watch other teams' matches for your research purposes? I guess my guest is gone for a little bit again. We'll get the answer to this question before the match ends, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, just to remind everybody, this is HEATSEEKER, right? A mode of Rocket League where when you hit the ball, it like goes directly towards the goal like a heat-seeking missile. That's the name. And we're seeing two random players from Group A take on two random players of Group B just for the funsies. And right now, Group A has won. Group A has. Oh yeah, welcome back. Group A has won one game. Group B has won one game. So this next one's kind of important, but we still haven't seen that damn purple ball, because if you strike it enough times, the ball's gonna go purple and the speed's gonna increase by 3, and that's just gonna be fun for us to see.
Yes,
Anyway, welcome
the
back. Just to reiterate the question, the thing that I asked you about, do you watch other teams' matches to prepare for your own matches, basically?
No, not to prepare, but just for the fun of it, to watch.
Oh,
other
I
team
see.
matches. It's actually
So-
really fun to watch other teams' matches, like the Baguettes and Capalot. We really like them. They're really good teams. We just take some things from their things and we just kind of include it in ours.
I think that that's a
trainings.
great approach on your side, because like no matter how much experience you have, like there's this old saying that says that, you know, the wise man learns from the mistakes of others, right? So maybe
Yes.
just watching others play can help more, just as much as your own games, right? So that's pretty good to hear. And hey, look at that, the ball's really picking up speed now. We may finally see that damn purple ball. Oh, here we go. There you are. Times 3 speed. Now it's on. 4 goals to 0. Wow, that must take a lot of work. Okay, 4 goals to 0, 1 minute 10 seconds and counting. And I don't think Group B is really gonna catch up, but I'm just having fun watching these players flail about. This is great. Okay, who's gonna score the next one? My God. Green
People
Vortex
said,
for Group A.
People said the purple ball most of the time comes after hit 20 times consecutively.
Hey, that's pretty great, you know, because so far we've seen the ball just go into the goal after just a few touches. So the fact that these teams are able to recover and trade passes 20 times without dropping it just means that they're kind of getting used to working together and improving overall, which is pretty cool to see. Thanks for the little tidbit of info. Anyway, continuing on with the thing that we were talking about, what's next for Volo Esports? After this tournament, will we be seeing you taking part in any future tournaments, or is it back to the, you know, like practice, or do you see maybe perhaps like making any changes to the roster, anything like that?
As of now, we haven't think of any dropping any players or
That's
doing
good, because
anything
we really
different.
like you guys.
Yes, we especially love unicorns. Everybody loves unicorns.
You know what, man? Those goals are weird, and we are here for it. Like, we can see a perfect sweep any day of the week, but we cannot see the kind of goals where somebody puts a ball on their car and just sneakily sneaks into the goal after the time runs out. Like, you don't see that every day. So yeah, and my regards to him if you ever catch up with him anytime soon. He has made this tournament a lot more fun to watch. And you yourself contribute pretty solidly, I would say, to the back and the middle end of the pitch. So I gotta ask you, where are you the most comfortable as a player?
As a
And look
player,
at that, Group B has taken, Group A has taken their second win. Anyway, go on.
I mostly play as a defender, but sometimes I just go and attack. Like in the last series, which you were there, I was playing mostly attack. For the goal, which was very surprising to everyone.
Hey,
Because I
we
don't
were
score
just
that much goals.
we were just amazed. We were like, wait, how did that happen? Well done. But you know what? I think that it's great, you know, and I gotta ask you, why defense? Why is that the thing that you favor?
Because ever since I started playing, I like playing at back more than front. Because most of my friends play front, so play attack. So that's why I just play
Right,
at the back.
okay. One of the teams that we really like in this tournament that we've seen play do this really cool thing where the third man basically stays behind while the first two kind of rotate between each other to be the attacking or the setting up kind of player, right? Would you say that this is the kind of tactic that your style would be suited towards, because you do seem to like the defense?
Yes. Because
alright. Go on.
Because we mostly do that, executable and unicorns mostly go forward, and me and executable mostly just rotate. I just stay in the mid most of the time if unicorns is just attacking, or I go for the demos or bumps. A lot of unicorns goals are because of my demos.
I have seen a few of your bumps, yeah. I feel like your Volo Esports at least is one of the teams that uses bumps pretty well, and the fact that you guys use it on teams that do have like more advanced tactics available to them and it still works just amuses me greatly. I think that it's pretty great that you guys kind of find a way to slip that in. Anyway, we have the I guess game number 4, and Group A scores the first goal. But this one I'm hoping for Group B to win, mostly because I like
reverse sweeps.
seeing the final score. No, not reverse sweeps per se. I just like the final score to be 2-3. You know, it shows that both teams really tried. But anyway, just to remind everybody, you guys are watching HEATSEEKER, a mode of Rocket League, which is a little different from our own usual matches. Basically, what's going on here is 2 random players from Group A are taking on 2 random players of Group B, and every time they hit the ball, it automatically goes towards the goal and speeds up just a little bit, right? And that's just leading to hilarious hijinks. And in the meantime, me and my guest here from Volo Esports are just talking random Rocket League stuff. Unless something interesting happens, in which case we comment on it. Like that purple ball, which shows up when you hit the ball consecutively 20 times back and forth. And then the speed picks up like times 3 apparently, so that's crazy. Anyway, back to talking to you. So, let's see.
I would answer this question. You questioned me about the future tournament.
Right.
If Twitch Gaming and any other initiative, we would love to be a part of it. We would totally support it. We would put our
Hey,
heart
that's
and souls.
awesome to hear. There's been an equalizer, so that's pretty great. Well done, Group B. But going back to you, what you were saying, that's wonderful, because we love seeing Volo Esports play, you know, and we really want to see you guys come back and show, like, a little bit more refinement to the very raw skill that we saw in this tournament, because I feel like every one of these members, they do have a lot of potential and they have things that they're clearly very good at, but it's kind of a little unrefined at the moment. But I'm looking forward to seeing where your future takes you. And let's talk about something else, all right? Let's talk about the different teams that you've played up against. Which team would you say you kind of had the most challenge with? If I am taking a look back at the past of this one, you played against Quiz Esports, you have also played against EVG and Twitch Tactics as well. So which team would you say gave you the most trouble?
I would say Switch Tactics, because basically the Switch Tactics each game, so we couldn't like get around it and get around it. So we can know what they were going to do next game. Switch their tactics.
I know, right? It's one of those names where you just think, oh, come on, it couldn't possibly be like that simple, but it totally is. They're called Switch Tactics because they keep switching their tactics. And I noticed in from the commentary side, or at least the spectator side of the game, that you guys in the late, let's say last 2 minutes of every game, you guys finally adjust to whatever thing that they were using, and then the next game they would just switch it up, right?
Yes, because the
yeah,
last
go on.
game is basically we know what they're doing, so we just go and do what they're doing. Because we know,
Exactly.
example, this player is going to come from this side, and they're going to do this and that.
And so for you, it's more difficult to face teams that keep changing their tactics in mid, like from game to game, rather than a team that that has a really strong, consistent strategy, right?
Yes.
All right, that's interesting. And also, I gotta ask you about the name. I know that it's like an Age of Empires reference, Volo Esports, but how did the name come about to be? Why'd you pick that one?
Because there's this meme, the person I forgot. So my friend actually, very fun, suggested the name to me. There's like this person doing Volo. So it's like really funny.
And it kind of converted the person, right?
Yes.
You know,
So it was
early
really
on.
funny.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
go on.
it was really funny. So we thought it was a really cool name. And it's the Age of the game
Age
reference
of
too.
Empires
So
reference,
that's
yeah. So I'll say this, right? When the tournament began, one of the names that actually caught my eye first was actually your name, mostly because it was an Age of Empires reference, right? And we made a joke, me, Aksam, and Yube, about how let's hope that by the end of the tournament these guys don't convert us to their side. And the way that you guys have played, that even though you were up against tougher teams, that you never gave up, you always showed up, you always tried to score, and like some of those goals were just out of pure guts alone. I ended up being a big fan of Volo Esports. Like, I'm very happy to see that you guys are really doing your best and just giving it everything you got, you know? It's very admirable. And I think that younger teams... No problem. And younger teams as well, even younger than you, or more like newbie teams, I think they have a lot to learn from you guys, because it takes a lot of guts, I think, to consistently show up and do your best no matter the odds, right? And there's a lot to say there. So thank you for everything you've done so far. It's been really entertaining to watch and commentate on all of your matches, I can say.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Volo Esports, I would like to thank Twitch Gaming for even making this tournament possible. Because
Oh, for sure. Somebody had to crown the top Rocket League players in the Maldives, right? Might as well be us. Jokes aside, we are now at 3-5 on the scoreboard, and I couldn't be happier. I want to see this go into overall like 2-2, and then the last game is super intense, right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting my wish, so I'm real happy. Anyway, just to remind everybody, you're seeing a mode of Rocket League called HEATSEEKER, where basically if you touch the ball or the ball hits the backboard, it just zooms toward the opposite goal like it's a heat-seeking missile or whatever, right? But the point here is that you have to make sure that you score while defending your own goal. And currently, the way... Sorry?
In other words, it's basically Rocket League game.
Yeah, basically, yes. It is Rocket League aimbot in a certain sense. And what's more fun with this particular game is the fact that, or rather, this particular match is the fact that both teams are made up of players who are not used to playing with each other. So we have Ghost and Chili Sauce on one side, and we have Green Vortex and Classical on the other side. And so far, I think it's going pretty well, and whichever team scores 7 goals first, I think, is the winner. So looks like it's gonna be Group B winning this time, although Classico is definitely not gonna make that easy. So let's talk about something else, alright? So when it comes to getting ready for your matches, we've talked about that. We've talked about like your mentality towards facing other teams, analyzing your own games. Hey, look at that! Chili Sauce scores 7. I think that is the win for Group B, if I'm not wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Or are we playing for time? No, I think we are. Anyway, the next question I guess I really wanted to ask you is, how did this team form, you know? Like, I think a few listeners and maybe viewers will also wonder, like, how do these people meet? How do they discover their love for the same game? How did all of this happen? So in case of Volo, how did that happen? Were you guys friends before and you discovered Rocket League? Or did you like Rocket League and discover your friends through it, you know?
Basically, we all, me and Unicorns were duo partners before before we knew Executable. Executable was in our school, and we was like, "Hey, you guys play Rocket League?" And we were like, "Yeah, wanna play with him?" And he was like, "Cool." And we played, and we just liked playing with him and started standard Rocket League team. But before Volo Esports, there was a team that Unicorn started called Easy, which I was a part of. That doesn't exist anymore. It's now Volo Esports. We
I
changed
see.
it.
So it kind of
basically
like
from school, we just
okay. So it's very much related to gaming and all, right?
yes.
Oh, that's great to hear. And hey,
Not only Rocket League we play other games too.
Oh, yeah. Such
now-
as?
now before we had a FIFA team, Fortnite team. But now those two, because FIFA, no one plays FIFA. No one is that interested in FIFA, so we have dropped FIFA. Fortnite is basically dead. So Fortnite.
wow,
anymore.
what a statement to make. But anyway, maybe it's dead for where you're at, but it's fine. We're here for Rocket League anyway. And just to remind everybody, it's Heatseeker, and currently Group A and Group B both have 2 wins each. So the next person who wins takes the entire match. And just to let you guys know, Group A is made up of 2 random players from Group A that we kind of stuck together, and so is Group B, and that's what makes this really fun. And obviously there's the whole... Sorry?
So hopefully I will beat them tomorrow night.
I look forward to it, really, because this seems like a really fun time, you know? Heatseeker especially. Oh, look at that! We finally had the purple ball again, and just to remind people, purple ball means that you consecutively pass the ball back and forth 20-ish times, and this thing ups the speed by times 3. So, you know, this thing is just like a guided missile now. And it's just going here and there, and I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to score the first goal. I've noticed that it's now like 3 minutes 35 seconds and counting, and we still don't have a goal, which kind of shows that both teams are pretty good on the defensive side, right? Or at least the luck is holding out. Wow,
Yeah.
this ball is just going nuts right now. I don't know if any players are touching it. Okay, Group B scores one with Ghost. I don't know if Ghost had anything to do with that one, though. I think it just bounced around.
It goes so fast. It's really hard to like catch the ball, and because you have to go back to position. So it's going so fast. You have to like communicate really.
I guess
They're playing equal
how
there.
fast the ball is moving will influence how fast you can just talk to your partner, right?
Yes.
Because you don't have a lot of time when the ball is super fast, but when it's a little slow, you can be like, hey, you go over there, I'll do this, or something like that. This looks exciting, to be sure. Like, I guess it's a lot fun to play when you know the other player, but when you don't know them, it adds this, like, kind of party game kind of vibe to it, right?
Yeah. Most of the Rocket League fanbase actually did a poll on Reddit, on the Rocket League subreddit. A lot of people love Heatseeker, but there are people who hate Heatseeker too, which people like Gridiron. Gridiron is basically NFL football and Rocket League. It's more
that
of an
sounds
attacking
interesting.
game. It's more of an attacking game, but Heatseeker is more for defending.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, it's about passes and recoveries, right? Hey, Chili Sauce scores! Nicely done, Chili Sauce. These goals, honestly, in this match is pretty unpredictable, mostly because you don't know, like, how the other players are going to react, or whether they're going to return the pass, or it's just going to go every which way. You would think that because the ball only goes towards the goal, more or less, that it would be easier to score, but somehow it's just a little bit wild. And hey, Group B seems to have taken the lead now, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. Based on the play that you've seen so far in this game, would you say that one side is more likely to win than the other? Like, can you make that observation, or
No.
you still have to
No,
kind
no.
of say, kind of see?
No, you have to wait until the last second. The Heatseeker is very unpredictable. I have played matches that I was 5-0 down, and we won 10, 15, 5. We had
My
won.
goodness, I can't even imagine that. That's wild.
Yes, because it was like 2 minutes left. We had to win. So you just have to wait until the match. Don't count out any team until the last second.
I totally agree with you on that one. Hey, look at that! Classico with the equalizer. This is what I like to see. I like seeing equal matches. It's wonderful. Let's talk a little bit more about your experiences in the tournament so far, right? What would you say is, at least from your perspective, your favorite moment in the tournament based on the matches that you've played so far? At least for Volo Esports, or maybe, just you specifically. I don't know, you could answer it either way. I don't know.
Although, basically, for me, it was the goal that I scored. But
Oh, yes.
For Volo Esports, it would be that crazy goal by your fans. That, oh my god.
Which one? Because there are so many.
All of them, I can't choose them.
I think I'm gonna choose the one where, like, the clock was at 0 and Unicorns basically put the ball on the top of his car and just kind of like sneakily ran into the goal. Like, I remember that one because that was just so exactly, like, that was just so sneaky. The other team basically stopped defending because they thought the time was up, and they just managed to sneak that goal in. I love that. It feels like you guys, even though there's a huge goal difference or a skill difference, you guys don't give up trying to score at least one goal to let the other team know that you're still here and fighting for it. And I don't know, like, where do you get that mentality? Like, that's what I want to see, but I don't know, like, if a lot of teams actually think that way. So I want to ask, how do you get that mentality? Don't give up until the last second. A very Naruto thing, if I may say so myself. Hey, look at that, 3-3. This is going great. These guys are giving me exactly what I want. Anyway, continue.
Once a famous person said, I don't know who said this, but I heard this. The match finishes at 0-0. Don't give up until the match is over. Or you have I don't think I'm saying it correctly, but
basically, I guess what I'm getting from what you're saying is, if you give up before it ends, you're basically 100% sure to lose, right? Because you miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah. Oh god.
Isn't it a little intimidating sometimes, even though, like, there may be a huge score gap, to keep that positive outlook, or is it something that you are able to hold on to throughout?
Yeah, like the game, I think the game switched tactical. In the series, both or first match and the last match, we were losing by a lot, and we managed to score goals because we believed in each other, and we were fighting until the end, of course.
I do remember those ones. It was very unexpected as well. Most people would think, okay, there won't be a goal coming up after this, but still, you guys did manage, and I think that's something to be proud of. And also, let's take a look at this match over here. There's some fun stuff going on here. 3-3 is the score, and we've gone into overtime. We at the spectator bench here, we definitely love overtime. Sudden death. That's just as exciting as it gets. All right, so if I were to be able to ask you one last thing before this match ends, here's my thing. So what would you say is your major takeaway as a team from this tournament? Like, based on all the matches you've played and how things have happened. You mentioned you take notes, so I'm going to ask you, what's the major thing that you take away from this tournament in terms of practice or skill or all that?
Before we started practicing at the tournament, as soon as we signed up.
Right. Oh, hey, look at that. Purple ball's back. I'm happy. I'm seeing everything I want. I'm seeing overtime, 1 minute of overtime. I'm seeing the purple ball. It's great. And I'm seeing a 3-2 score, basically. Whoever scores next wins, I guess. Hey, Group B! That's awesome. Oh, does that mean the match is over, or do we still go until 7?
No.
Hey, look at that. I guess this means that the match is over and Group B wins. So Sorry. Oh, what? My bad. Was it Group B? Or was it Group A? I guess it's Group A. My bad. I kind of misread that there. But anyway, Classico and Green Vortex win 4 goals to 3. And wow, that was my first time watching a Heatseeker match. I kind of want to play this. I feel like this would be a good way to learn Rocket League. What do you
It's a
think?
really good end. Yeah, it's a really good end. Yeah. Should be right.
Anyway, just to ask you that thing again. What is your main takeaway from this tournament?
We progressed as a team. Like looking like a month before, we weren't that good as a team. We weren't hot. We weren't talking this much. Our teamwork. But later on.
Hey guys, good to catch you back. That was an interesting change of pace just then. I expected a little bit more like excitement and all, but it felt like it was just a volleyball just in between. But then again, that's the whole point of it. I think we've still got someone on call. Who is it? Is it Yamin from Volo?
Yes.
Finally, we meet.
Yeah, we've been having a great conversation here just about Volo Esports and about Rocket League in general. So hey, if you want to jump in and say anything, feel free. I've got a lot of really nice insights from Yamin here while we were talking. Anyway, Yamin, just to answer the last question, what is your major takeaway from this tournament, at least as a team?
We have progressed a lot that we could have never imagined that we could have progressed as a team. So I feel, as the captain of the team, very proud of both of my players.
You should be. I think that you guys are one of the most...
Because they were grinding all night and day. Even more than me. They were like grinding. So thank you very much, Executable and Unicorns.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. I'm genuinely happy. I feel like you guys, whether you win or lose, you guys had a lot of fun with all of your matches and you learned a lot. We've seen your improvement skyrocket, you know? The very first match that we've seen from you versus the very latest match we've seen, team unrecognizable. And I don't know if I can give you a better compliment than that. What do you think, Afzal?
No, man, I'm just joking. You guys did really well. You guys did really well. Like I know
You're gonna
that
make me spit out my drink, man.
I gotta add some comic relief into this stream, you know. So you guys did really well, Vololo. The whole team. I love the name. That was the first thing that made me a fan. And I couldn't even pronounce it right because I kept getting distracted and going like Vololo. And, you know,
it was really funny. Okay,
that's how they get you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I try to have fun. And my favorite match to watch was you guys playing against 13. You guys put up quite a fight. But you should know, as I was doing the commentary for that match, it was really fun as well. Like, you know, there was a lot of like slip-ups. It's expected in the kind of game that we're playing. It's split-second decisions. 13 really had to get that win because otherwise there was a lot of like discrepancy on the the table as well.
Yeah, because if they didn't win, if we won, it would be the group of death.
Yeah.
It would be very undecisive.
It was. And you guys weren't the luckiest people when it came to group distribution because that group was amazingly difficult to challenge.
Yes,
but you still held on. You guys still held on. You went all the way through for all 4 matches. And who knows? You know what? This could be between us, but maybe on the last few days of the knockout, we might even have another exhibition match for you guys. Would you be up to it if we do that?
Sure.
Yes, that's the spirit, guys. That's the
exactly.
Spirit.
That's what we love to hear as well. I think that it's been a real pleasure watching you guys play, especially considering that you are like an up-and-coming team, right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us on this stream. This is something you can tell your grandkids about as well. You were on live with Moonis right here. You don't get to do that every day. And right now we are about to jump into our exit of this stream because we don't have any more matches for the night because of the forfeiture that happened earlier. We adapt, overcome, and now we've come to the end of our stream. A few more things that I would like to cover before we get there. First of all, let us see who are the real winners of tonight of the lucky
Oh
draw.
yes.
No, we're
I've
not
been
gonna
waiting
have
for
the
this
lucky
one.
draw? My technical team forgot to actually finish the raffle. Before we get there, let's talk a little bit about the matches we saw. Capalot wiping the floor with CLOCKWISE, even though the first game was actually in the advantage of CLOCKWISE for at least a good half of the match. And
Very strange, wasn't it? I kind of didn't expect that to happen, but then like the clock kind of swung the other way, so to speak, and the Capalot just came and just dominated them as expected. But CLOCKWISE did put up a good fight. I just wish they hadn't given up when, or at least they hadn't appeared to give up when they did. Anyway, continue, please.
And then we've got Vandal and Legacy Esports, a very exciting match that we did not see happen because Vandal sadly had to pull out. I do not know exactly what went wrong, but things happened and it's all right because it was a fourth match, the last match of this fixture, which wouldn't have amounted to anything except, an enjoyable game. We actually hope to see more, sportsmanship in the coming tourneys as well. This is not the only game we'll be playing on Glitch Gaming. We would be showcasing a lot more different games, different plays, and different players as well. So there's a lot of fun we can have later. And then
I
the
guess
third
we'll
match
start
was
getting
really
like a
fun.
set of household names.
Yeah, hopefully so. And now, for the moment that we've all been waiting for, the lucky draw.
Oh yes, I'm excited for this one.
And for the first one, for the free pizza from Pizza Bona, who would it be? It's Shroud. Wait, did I get that wrong? It's not
It's really not Shroud.
Maybe it could have been really not Shroud from Twitch. Congratulations. I don't know what else to say because it couldn't be Shroud, could it? Because Mandu Muskes is definitely not going to go to Shroud now. Who's going to get it? It's Ampu and friends. That's
On
a lot
YouTube.
of people. That's a lot of people.
Hey, it is an assorted mustard, okay? So maybe everybody gets a can.
Wait a minute. I think I might even recognize this guy. This is someone who's been helping us out a lot by streaming and hosting our stream on his Twitch as well. Recently got verified as well. Congratulations, Ampu. I think you're in Malaysia. How are we gonna do the Moscow case? That's how we are. That's how the lucky draw works, I guess. But thank you so much for all the support to all the viewers who've been watching this stream day in. Well, no, night in, night out, because every night we're on live from 9 to 12 p.m. 9 to 12 a.m. When I say that, I am lying because we're not usually on time, but we try to be. Tomorrow night, we've got 2 more matches and a third match, which would be an exhibition match. We're really excited to see what happens tomorrow night as well. Thank you so much, Mooney, for all the time that you've given us. It was fun to be on commentary with you, and hopefully you'll be able to get that spot as well because he deserves it more than I do. I will catch you and everyone later. We've basically come to the end of night 13, and before we say goodbye, let us take a look at the sponsors who made this happen. First of all, we've got Mando Mus with that free Mus case. Thank you so much for the consistency, Pizzabona as well. Anybody who's won the lucky draw, please reach out to us on our Facebook page. We'll give you a coupon, not printed, because Print Lab is doing the printing. And then eLife with the MVP sponsor, which the MVP of the final match will be getting a prize from them. Gizmo, thank you so much for all the technical know-how that you've been providing us as well. And thank you so much to our title sponsor too, for having made this happen until tonight. And finally, we've come to the end of our stream, and I'd like to say goodnight, Ahoa, but yeah, we've got 15 more minutes to kill. What do you want to do, Mooney? I mean,
we got 15 more minutes.
Yeah,
all right.
Ended. These people
I
are
think
gonna
that's
there.
The very last thing that I'd like to talk about once again is maybe the tournament format, because I feel like we can go over that just a little bit more to remind people, because we're basically at the end of the group stage right now, right? So if we could get the tournament format up here, I would like to explain to people how this thing works, right? So we're basically at the end of the group stage, which means that 2 of the best teams from each group are going to rise to the top and go to what we call the the knockout stage, right? And this knockout stage is what we call double elimination, which is still one of my favorite things. Basically, the way that it works is that there is an upper bracket and there is a lower bracket, right? You're seeing the lower bracket right now. And if you lose in the knockout stage in the upper bracket, usually in normal average sports that we've seen, if you lose in the knockout stage, you're knocked out. That's it. But because it's a double elimination kind of deal, what happens is you fall to the lower bracket, which means that you still have the opportunity to face whichever teams fall there and still make it to the final. So that's something that I think it's pretty interesting, which means that even if you do lose one of the knockout matches, you still have one more opportunity to learn from it, to come back from it, and perhaps show a better performance than you've ever shown before. So I'm looking forward to it, because the one time I did see it in another Rocket League tournament, it turned out to be quite exciting, especially because it sort of lights a fire under some of these players, so they get that much more desperate and hungry for the trophy. So their level of play just kind of skyrockets from there, because they are basically holding on by their fingertips at that point, right? So it's kind of exciting. I'm pretty hyped to see that. So now, after everything, we've seen the best teams rise to the top, and we are just on the cusp of moving into the knockout stage, tomorrow being the last group stage day.
We've come to the end of 13 days. We've got the 14th day tomorrow, 2 weeks in, and we've got 6 to 7 more days of this tomfoolery happening on live.
Can you believe that we've been watching Rocket League nonstop for basically 2 weeks now? I'm so happy, to be able to see so many great matches. It's been very exciting, and I would like to thank all the players who've just made every Ramadan night so far just flit by. It just disappears out the window, and I wonder where the time went. But in a good way.
Thankfully, I mean, I'm not having too much of a disadvantage, because I'm not having to miss out on any of potential dates as well, because I have my date during iftar. So, guys, I will catch you guys tomorrow night. It was fun. It's gonna be a lot more fun tomorrow night, and I wish you all a good night. See you tomorrow.
See ya.
Raj.
අම්මට කොච්ච බැනුමන 2GB නුවේ දිබේ 3GB data දැන් ඉහුන්න වෙස් කොලෙන් ජේ බෑම voice minutes කොලක ඒක තේ SMS කොල වෙස් වට්ටාය දෙ data voice minutes තේ SMS hello කො streaming 1GB වට්ටාය දෙව and එයා ගෙඩු කොල්ල chat කොල්ලන් වෙස් GB social media වෙස් GB කොල වට්ටාය දෙ
prepaid combo එල්ල බෙදානත
තිහුරියාච හුන්නනේ මේක
මිහාර වකිවකින් එච්චි නෙගුමවර කොම්බෝ ප්ලෑන් නගාල මාසරි data voice adi SMS වෙන කොම්බෝ ප්ලෑන්ස් මීගේ තුරු chat stream adi social media බලලා free data
අස්සෙන් ගත කොම්බෝ මාසාලවන්
prepaid combo plan activate කරන් Dhiraagu app download කරලා